There's a powerful natural enzyme that most people over 50 have never heard of. Yet it could quietly be one of the most important tools for protecting your health as you age. It's called nattokinase, and no, this isn't just another overhyped supplement. In fact, it comes from a simple fermented food that's been used for centuries in Japan, and it's been largely ignored by modern medicine, possibly because its effects could challenge some of the biggest moneymakers in the pharmaceutical world. When we talk about nattokinase, don't automatically assume we're pushing a supplement you need to buy, because the truth is, you can get this powerful nutrient directly from food, and we'll show you exactly how to do that in this video. Today, you'll discover why nattokinase might be a game changer after 50, the impressive ways it can impact your health, how to take it correctly if you decide to, and most importantly, who should absolutely avoid it. But before we begin, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps us reach more people who need to hear about natural solutions like this. Alright, let's get started. But first things first, what exactly is nattokinase? Nattokinase is a natural enzyme derived from a traditional Japanese food called natto, a fermented soybean dish that's been consumed for generations. While natto itself might be an acquired taste, what makes it truly remarkable is what happens during fermentation. When soybeans are fermented using a friendly bacterium called Bacillus subtilis, this powerful enzyme is produced. It's not a vitamin, not a mineral, but an active compound that has been quietly studied for its impact on human health, especially as we grow older. And here's the fascinating part. Unlike many trendy nutrients that come and go, nattokinase has stood the test of time, both in traditional cultures and in scientific circles. Yet despite all this, it remains largely ignored in mainstream medicine, even though it could hold answers to some of the most common and frustrating health problems people face after 50. Now let's talk about the impressive health benefits that make this enzyme something Big Pharma probably doesn't want you to know about. 1. Improves blood flow by dissolving blood clots. Now I know blood clot sounds scary, and it is. As we age, especially after 50, our blood tends to get a little stickier. Circulation slows down and that increases the risk of clot formation, whether in the legs, like deep vein thrombosis, the lungs, or even worse, the brain or heart. That's where things like stroke, heart attacks, or pulmonary embolisms come into play. So, how does nattokinase help? Nattokinase works by breaking down fibrin, which is the protein that forms the structural mesh of a blood clot. Imagine fibrin as a kind of net your body throws over a wound to stop bleeding. But sometimes the body produces too much fibrin, or it doesn't clear it out properly, and this can lead to dangerous, unwanted clots in places where they shouldn't form. What makes nattokinase so special is that it has fibrinolytic activity, meaning it helps your body dissolve these fibrin clots naturally, without disrupting necessary clotting for injuries. In fact, a 1990 study by Dr. Hiroyuki Sumi, who actually discovered nattokinase, showed that it could dissolve blood clots in vitro, in the lab, within hours, while other enzymes like plasmin had much less effect. Even more impressively, in a 2008 clinical study published in Nutrition Research, researchers gave 86 healthy adults either 2,000 FU fibrinolytic units of nattokinase or a placebo daily for 8 weeks. The results? Those who took nattokinase had significantly reduced blood clotting activity, including a decrease in fibrinogen levels, which is directly tied to clot formation. What's exciting here is that nattokinase doesn't just thin the blood like aspirin. It helps break down existing clots and prevents excess fibrin from building up, which helps your blood flow more smoothly, naturally. And get this, it's even been shown to enhance circulation in the lower limbs, which is huge for people dealing with cold feet, leg cramps, or sluggish blood flow. That's not just theory. Animal and human studies back this up. And of course, this isn't a replacement for medical treatment if you're at high risk for clots or taking blood thinners. Always speak to your doctor, but if you're healthy and looking for a natural way to keep your circulation strong, nattokinase just might give you that edge. Now let's talk about your heart. As we get older, our arteries can start to harden and narrow due to plaque buildup, a process called atherosclerosis. This is one of the biggest risk factors for heart attacks and strokes. What makes nattokinase so interesting is that it not only helps dissolve clots, but it may also help reduce plaque and improve blood vessel flexibility. 2 things your heart will thank you for. In a 2009 study published in Atherosclerosis, researchers found that taking nattokinase daily for 26 weeks reduced carotid artery plaque in patients with thickened arteries, along with improvements in blood flow and lipid profiles, like lower LDL cholesterol. That means nattokinase may help keep your arteries cleaner and more elastic, reducing the strain on your heart and lowering your risk of cardiovascular disease. It's not magic, it's simply supporting the body's natural ability to clean up the system. And that's a big deal after 50, when the risks start to climb. Let's not forget about your kidneys. They quietly filter about 50 gallons of blood every single day. High blood pressure, poor circulation, and inflammation can all wear them down over time. Nattokinase may offer protection here too. By improving blood flow and reducing fibrin buildup in tiny blood vessels, it helps the kidneys stay well perfused, which is essential for proper filtration. And in some studies, nattokinase even helped reduce proteinuria, a condition where protein leaks into the urine, often a sign of early kidney damage. A 2020 study published in Experimental and Therapeutic Medicine found that nattokinase supplementation in patients with early-stage kidney issues lowered urinary protein levels and improved kidney function markers. Having said that, make sure to consult your healthcare provider before taking nattokinase supplement if you suffer from kidney disease, as everyone's condition is different. Here's something many people overlook. Chronic inflammation inside your blood vessels is a silent trigger behind heart disease, stroke, and even kidney failure. You might feel perfectly fine, but this type of hidden inflammation can damage your arteries over time. That's where nattokinase may help, not just by improving blood flow, but by calming inflammation in the lining of your blood vessels. Studies have shown that nattokinase can reduce levels of inflammatory markers like C-reactive protein, CRP, which is strongly linked to cardiovascular risk. In a 2018 study published in Scientific Reports, participants taking nattokinase had significantly lower CRP and IL-6 levels. Both are markers of vascular inflammation. Less inflammation means your arteries stay smoother, more flexible, and far less likely to trap cholesterol or form dangerous plaques. Think of it like this. Nattokinase helps cool down the irritation inside your blood vessels before it turns into something serious. Your brain is one of the most blood-hungry organs in your body. In fact, it uses about 20% of your total blood supply, even though it only makes up around 2% of your body weight. That's why even small disruptions in blood flow like microclots or narrowing of vessels can slowly chip away at your memory and mental clarity. Nattokinase may play a protective role here. By enhancing circulation and reducing fibrin buildup in the blood, it helps ensure that your brain continues receiving the oxygen and nutrients it needs to function well as you age. One study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience highlighted how vascular issues like poor blood flow and clotting are key drivers of cognitive decline and dementia. And because nattokinase directly addresses these issues by breaking down clots and improving blood flow, it's gaining interest as a potential tool for maintaining brain health in aging adults. If you're over 50 and concerned about memory loss or brain fog, protecting your brain's blood supply might be one of the smartest moves you can make, and nattokinase may help you do just that. Lowering stroke risk. Every year, around 15 million people worldwide suffer a stroke, and nearly 5 million die from it, according to the World Health Organization. Even among those who survive, many are left with permanent disability, speech loss, or memory problems, and the risk only climbs as we get older. One major cause of stroke is ischemia, when a blood clot blocks an artery leading to the brain, cutting off oxygen. That's exactly where nattokinase may step in. Thanks to its ability to break down fibrin, the sticky protein involved in clot formation, nattokinase helps reduce the risk of clot-related strokes by keeping blood flowing smoothly and preventing blockages before they happen, like we mentioned before. A study published in Hypertension Research showed that nattokinase supplementation not only reduced blood pressure, but also reduced the tendency for blood to clot, two major risk factors for stroke. The takeaway? Stroke prevention isn't just about medication, it's also about keeping your blood clean, your vessels clear, and your circulation strong. And nattokinase may offer a natural, science-backed way to support all three. Now we're going to talk about something very important. Who should not take nattokinase? While this enzyme offers many impressive benefits, it's not safe or appropriate for everyone, especially because of its blood-thinning effects. You should avoid nattokinase if you're taking blood-thinning medications. If you're already on drugs like warfarin, aspirin, clopidogrel, Plavix, or even high-dose fish oil, adding nattokinase could increase your risk of bleeding or bruising. It can make your blood too thin. You have a bleeding disorder. Conditions like hemophilia, low platelet counts, or any clotting disorder mean your body already struggles to stop bleeding. Nattokinase could make that worse. You're scheduled for surgery. Nattokinase can increase bleeding risk during or after surgery. It's best to stop taking it at least 2 weeks before any planned procedure. You're pregnant or breastfeeding. There's not enough research on its safety during pregnancy or breastfeeding, so it's best to avoid it during these times. You have a history of hemorrhagic stroke or ulcers. If you've ever had a bleeding-type stroke or suffer from active ulcers or internal bleeding, nattokinase could be dangerous. Now, what if you're healthy and cleared by your doctor? How do you actually get nattokinase? There are two main ways. Natto is a fermented soybean dish that's popular in Japan. It's packed with nattokinase in its natural food-based form. You can find natto in many Asian grocery stores or health food stores, and it's usually eaten for breakfast. It has a strong smell and slimy texture, but it's extremely rich in vitamin K2 and beneficial enzymes. You can eat it over rice, with soy sauce, or mix it with mustard or green onions to balance the flavor. If natto isn't your thing or it's hard to find, you can take nattokinase in capsule or tablet form. Here's what to look for. Choose a supplement labeled with 2000 FU fibrinolytic units per capsule, which is the standard dose. Look for enteric-coated capsules so the enzyme survives stomach acid and reaches your bloodstream. Make sure it's free of fillers and comes from a reputable brand. How to take it? Take 1 capsule daily on an empty stomach, either in the morning or 2-3 hours after your last meal. Taking it with food can reduce its effectiveness. And remember, more is not better. Stick to the recommended dose unless your doctor advises otherwise. Nattokinase is one of those rare natural compounds that's backed by tradition and science. From supporting circulation and heart health to potentially reducing stroke risk, its benefits are hard to ignore, especially for people over 50. But like any powerful remedy, it must be used with caution and awareness. Always consult your healthcare provider before adding nattokinase to your routine, especially if you're on medications, have a medical condition, or are unsure if it's right for you. And if you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to help others discover natural tools that might just change their life. Thanks for watching, and stay healthy, naturally.